All right, Personal Finance came out with a great article talking about the 15 most affordable places to retire abroad. And I thought this would be a good article to go over with you because so many people make mistakes when they're trying to pick places uh, for tax reasons, for cost of living. You can have it all. But this particular article stated they were basically looking at affordable places to retire based on spending money and not taxes. And this is, I see this so much on the internet. I guess most of them don't like talking about taxes, maybe because they don't want to study up on the tax laws in different countries, so they just leave it out. But to me, why save? I would rather pay double for a McDonald's hamburger, although I don't need McDonald's. But I would rather pay double for a McDonald's hamburger or any other type of hamburger and keep of all my tax money than lose half of it and go to a place that's incredibly cheap to buy a burger. To me, it doesn't make sense. But this is the type of survey that was done here, and it just blows my mind that they don't go through and show people really, where is the cheapest place to retire when you look at taxes, you look at cost of living, healthcare costs, looking at food costs, things like this, entertainment costs. This is what you want to be looking at, the whole ball of wax. I'll give you an example. Panama wasn't even listed here. Panama's got a territorial tax system. They got Johns Hopkins Hospital, state-of-the-art hospital, can do everything. It was built about 20 years ago, and it's right there in Punta Pacifica next to Punta Patia, and it's got everything. And it wasn't even mentioned in here, which I thought was real funny. And Panama actually is pretty cheap. It's not the cheapest place in Central America, but it's cheaper than a lot of countries. And, you have a territorial tax system where you can keep 100% of your money made outside the country. Now, again, if you're a U.S. citizen, U.S. resident, you're still going to have to report those taxes, even if you leave the U.S. You'd have to give up that green card and relinquish your U.S. citizenship or relinquish your U.S. citizenship to be able to get around all taxes. If you're a resident of a high tax country that taxes based on worldwide income, you're going to have to detax yourself. You're going to have to pay maybe an exit tax, maybe other things. It depends on the country. Okay. But the things that they went through in this article, to me, just didn't make sense. The reason I'm going through this is most people look at this, they don't know what to look for. I had a client, like I said, was mentioned this on another video too, where he was interested in Bali. And I told him, I said, that's in Indonesia. And this guy was pretty well off. And he said, oh, really? So what's wrong with that? And I says, well, Indonesia taxes worldwide income. Real cheap place to live as far as, food and healthcare costs, but they're going to take, a high percentage of your money in taxes, and they tax worldwide income. I would avoid that. Indonesia is one I would take out unless they change their tax laws. But the 15 most affordable places to retire abroad, these are the ones they've listed. Now, they listed the ones that were, I'm not going to go through the barriers they looked at because it would take too long in the video. I'm just going to list the countries and tell you a little bit about it. So we'll make this video a lot shorter, but they looked at the cost of living index, the average rent, groceries index, local purchasing power index, healthcare index, safety index, and peacefulness rank index. And these are the countries that came out with. Germany was number 15. Germany, I'm not going to go through how they rated the index or anything, but I'll just tell you, Germany, I was just there for 2 weeks, maybe a couple of months ago. And Germany, I went into McDonald's and all these meal plans ran from $11 to $16. So where are they getting this from? I don't know. All I'm just telling you, I was there just recently and very, very high. And the minimum wage is very high in Germany. So everything across the board goes up. But Germany tax, you think US is bad. Germany takes about half your money. Okay. And why lose half your money? Even if Germany, you could go in and buy a hamburger for 10 cents. Germany takes half your money in taxes. You might be able to pay 1,000 times over what your cost of living is on food, health care, and stuff like this, just from the taxation you're going to have to pay in Germany. Why not go to a place that's cheap, that has a territorial tax system, pure tax haven status, or has a non-dom program where you can get literally your income taxes to zero, and the cheaper cost of living than Germany. I don't know why they put this in here. Okay, I'm just telling you because when you pull up these things like this, none of them, and I think the reason they don't bring up taxes, most of them don't want to get into taxes. You hear people all the time say that we don't deal with taxes. You need to get with tax advisors. So they leave it out, which is stupid because taxes is your biggest expense if you're wealthy, okay, or even semi-wealthy for that matter. Denmark was 14, ridiculously high income taxes. Why would they put this as one of the cheapest places to live? I mean, this is incredible. And of course, they used other factors too: cost of living index, purchasing power index, grocery cost index, healthcare quality index, safety index, average rent, peacefulness index rank. But the thing they were hitting on the most here was the cost of living, these cheap places to live. In my words, some of the most expensive places to live because the taxes are so high in these countries. Estonia is a little bit better. That's number 13. But Estonia taxes worldwide income if you live there. And these are things you got to look at. Number 12 is Spain. Ridiculous taxes. They tax about half your money or higher when you figure everything. Sales VAT, income tax, capital gains tax. You're looking at any type of Social Security. The fees in Spain that you're going to pay out to the government is enormous. Avoid this country. I would avoid every single one that I've listed here so far. Finland, ridiculously high taxes. Just go on and you pull up their tax rates and you'll see what I'm talking about. Ridiculously high taxes. None of these countries I would want to go to. Hungary, taxes worldwide income. But I will say this, Hungary has got some of the lowest taxes or what they have listed so far, but they still tax worldwide income if you live there. Poland is ridiculous, number 9. Taxes worldwide income, very high taxes. 8 is Romania. Now, Romania has some of the lowest taxes I've listed here so far, but they still tax worldwide income. But it is very inexpensive to live there. It's a very corrupt country too, by the way. Austria is number 7. Ridiculous taxes, tax you out through the moon. Again, why pay for a cheap hamburger or cheap this or cheap that, and then lose half your money out in taxes? And by the way, too, Austria, I've been there many times to Vienna, and I didn't think it was cheap at all. I thought everything was pretty high there when you look at the euro costs and convert it back to US dollars. Number 6 was Croatia, that taxes worldwide income if you live there. And Croatia's taxes are okay, not as bad as some of the others I've listed, but all of these here tax worldwide income. Now, here's a good one, Malaysia. Malaysia is the only one I see on here that I really like, okay? And Malaysia is very hard to get the passport. I would not pick it as a country to go to because if you're trying to get a second passport, it's almost impossible to get this passport. If you want to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, I would avoid this country only because of that. But Malaysia fits the other parameters. Real cheap place to live. It has a similar system now that Thailand's got, which is taxation based on remittance. They used to have a pure territorial tax system, but they're gradually changing that. Japan was number 4, ridiculously high taxes. I would strongly urge you, don't move to Japan. I mean, that's the way I feel. Number 3 is Portugal, real high taxes. They got the habitual tax regime, but that's going to be ending. And also something else too is you're not going to get your taxes anywhere close to zero. And once the habitual tax regime program ends, which is only a 10-year program if you're in it anyway, you're going to revert back to their tax brackets around 40%. And their high tax brackets. Why would you want to go here? It just doesn't make sense to me. Slovenia is number 2. Slovenia taxes worldwide income if you live there. Number 1 is the Czech Republic. Now, Czech Republic has got, it is very inexpensive to live there, but they have very high taxes there. My whole thing is, why not get a place that's cheaper than Czech Republic that has good health care, and you don't have to pay any income taxes. Remember this, folks, taxes is going to be your biggest bill if you're wealthy. First of all, solve that problem, and then start looking at the other things. Put that number 1 on your list. And can you get places that have good health care? Yeah, I've given you one right there. It's Panama. I mean, Panama is not the only one. You go to tons of other ones. Ireland has a non-dom program where you can literally get your taxes almost to zero, maybe to zero. And they've got great health care, okay, and a great passport, one of the best passports in the world. So why would you want to, and you don't have to pass any sort of language test. Now, the food costs are going to be higher in Ireland than the Czech Republic, but who cares? Let's say you pay 2 times more for a hamburger, but you keep all your money in taxes. Which one's going to be cheaper for you to live there? Folks, if you want to know more on this, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button right on your screen right here. You'll get new videos automatically as they come out. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.